Well, I am sure you have all had days where you feel like a wild animal or a monster has just let loose in your home and just wreaked havoc with everything. That's certainly how I was feeling. And so I decided to do something about it. I decided to tackle it and just get into it and deep clean my whole living room and kitchen and dining area. Welcome, friends, to the channel Classy Frugality. My name is Tanya, and I'm so glad you decided to join me today. Well, I have found that there is a definite connection between cleanliness, organization, and frugality. How so? So, if you keep your space clean, that tends to promote frugality by reducing the need for duplicate purchases. It saves on costly cleaning supplies. Say you've let it get super grimy and you need something heavy duty to clean it with. That's going to reduce the need for that if you don't let it get to that point. And it just allows you to easily find what you already have, helps you maintain surfaces with simple and cheap supplies. So, how exactly does cleanliness drive frugal habits? Well, here is how. The number one way that cleanliness can promote frugality is that it eliminates duplicate buying. So when your pantry, your cabinets in your kitchen, when your storage areas, your supplies are all neat and tidy, you tend to know exactly what you have. This completely will stop you from spending more money, more time, more resources, and buying replacement items that you already own, but you just could not find because of the mess and the chaos and everything that's going on. And I'm guilty of this. This has happened to me too. Those junk drawers especially that we all tend to have. How many times have you gone looking for a tube of super glue or a pair of scissors or some tape or something, and you think, I know I have it here, but I just don't know where it is? That's because you haven't organized, you haven't cleaned, and you know it's there somewhere, you just don't quite know. So you end up buying more. Number 2, it lowers your supply cost. So if you have a home and you have a very high traffic area in the home, maybe you let it go for a little bit before you do sweeping, before you do mopping. Maybe you got some grimy clay mud buildup or something, and then you find that you have to get a more heavy-duty cleaner to get that off. Same thing goes with wipe downs of like cloth furniture or your end tables, any place where you eat as well. If you don't regularly wipe down that stove, you're going to get grease build up. You're going to have to get some kind of more heavy-duty cleaner, and you're going to have to spend money on that heavy-duty cleaner to get something that will cut that grease. So maintaining a clean home requires you to buy way less chemical-based products. So it's going to require far less chemical intervention. So instead of buying expensive, heavy-duty grime removers, just a regular, good old wipe down usually just needs some water and a reusable rag. I like to boil water a lot of times and use hot boiling water, not to the point to where I'm going to injure myself or damage the floor, but I like for it to be good and hot to mop the floor. That way it kills germs and it just does a better job at scrubbing stuff off the floor. So, a lot of times I just use my regular dish soap for stuff like that. It's a really good degreaser. And as long as you intervene regularly, that should be pretty much all you need. Number 3, the third way that cleanliness and organization promotes frugality is that it reduces food waste. If you have a clean, organized fridge, this will make sure that stuff doesn't get shoved to the back of the fridge. It doesn't then subsequently rot and get thrown away. And it makes meal planning a whole lot easier if you have got a clean, organized refrigerator. So you're spending way less money on restaurant food. And have you all seen restaurant food? Have you seen the literal prices for restaurant food? You can't even go to McDonald's and get out of there with hardly any less than $10 a person. And to me, I don't know, but $10 a person used to be about the amount you would spend if you're, say, going to more of a sit-down place. But it's way cheaper to cook at home. You don't want to cook at home if you're not clean and organized. How much harder is it to cook in a kitchen where everything's just sitting around? With my kitchen, the way it was, you saw the pots and pans on the stove from the night before. You saw the counters covered in stuff. It would be very difficult for me to do much of anything in that kitchen other than maybe make a sandwich in there. It'd be very difficult to cook a meal. Makes it way more tempting for me to just run out to Wendy's and get something, but I'm not going to do that. So definitely a clean, organized fridge reduces food waste, saves you money. Number 4, it replaces paid entertainment. So when your home is clean and peaceful, you are much more likely to want to stay in, host friends, enjoy your downtime rather than spending money going out or just to escape a messy environment. You're not going to be embarrassed of your home either. So there's that embarrassment factor. You don't want to bring people into your home when it's all messy and everything's all out of whack. You're going to want to meet people out at a restaurant or at the movies or some other place where you have to fork over your hard-earned cash. So cleanliness promotes frugality in the form of replacing these types of paid entertainment. And number 5, it extends item lifespan. You're not going to have to frequently replace all your stuff because it's become too dirty or too damaged to use or it's not working properly. Routinely cleaning and maintaining the stuff that you have purchased, washing your clothes properly, wiping down your furniture, getting the grease off that stove so that it's not running down into the knobs. Taking care of all your stuff tends to prevent premature wear and tear. That way, you are going to replace things much less frequently. So if you are looking for ways to combine cleanliness and frugality, here's some tips. Brainstorm some ways that you can make your own cleaners or that you can come up with cheaper cleaning products. Maybe that's a DIY multi-purpose cleaning solution. Some people really like to use white vinegar and baking soda. For me, I like to use boiling water and just some of that dollar dish detergent. You can get it in the dollar aisle at Dollar General. Also, create you a little maintenance checklist that you work from to just regularly clean and declutter your home. If you maintain, it's not going to build up on you. You're not going to dread it. It's not going to get to the point to where your belongings are damaged and you're having to spend hard-earned money to replace all that. You're not going to have rotten food that you're going to have to clean out of that refrigerator and throw away. It's just going to be good all the way around. And get your family involved. Get together and talk about strategies with them. It's much, much easier to maintain a clean and uncluttered environment when you have buy-in from your family or from those that live with you. When you talk about the things that everybody is sort of inconsistent with. We all have our different strengths, and we have our different things that we enjoy doing that maybe others do not enjoy doing. Some people don't like to dust frequently. Some people don't like to mop the floors or sweep, but they don't mind doing laundry. Identify your weaknesses and your strengths. Come together and work together and develop a strategy. Back in the 1800s, Charles Lamb wrote the cutest little poem called Cleanliness. It is a poem in which he starts out by scolding a little boy named Robert for having dirty hands. And I thought that was just the funniest poem, and I'm going to share that with you. The title is Cleanliness, and again, it's by Charles Lamb. It says, "Come, my little Robert, near. Fie, what filthy hands are here. Who that ever could understand the rare structure of a hand? With its branching fingers fine, work itself of hands divine, strong yet delicately knit, for 10,000 uses fit. Overlaid with so clear skin, you may see the blood within, and the curious palm disposed in such lines some have supposed. You may read the fortunes there by the figures that appear. Who this hand would choose to cover with a crust of dirt all over, till it looked in hue and shape like the forefoot of an ape? Man or boy that works or plays in the fields or on the highways may, without offense or hurt, from the soil contract a dirt, which the next clear spring or river washes out and out forever. But to cherish stains impure, soil deliberate to endure, on the skin to fix a stain till it works into the grain, argues a degenerate mind, sordid, slothful, ill-inclined, wanting in that self-respect which does virtue best protect. All endearing cleanliness, virtue next to godliness, easiest, cheapest, needfulest duty to the body, health, and beauty. Who's that human would refuse it when a little water does it? And here, folks, is my clean house, the fruits of my labors. If you enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel, Classy Frugality. Thank you so much.